welcome back to Normalising Life podcast with me and Adam. We're at episode 12 now. Making a good run, like.
I'm getting deep into it now. I think before we get going, should we mention about the hoodies? I'm fucking loving this hoodie, mate. It's one of the best things I've ever worn. It's class.
I think it's the best thing I've made so far in terms of Hybrid Academy. Like, it's just sick. I'm so happy with it. Like, anyone looking on YouTube at the minute, Adam looks even sexier than ever. Brought from a 9 to a solid 12.5
as well. Exceeded the 10.
Just jumped it.
I'm absolutely like the actual material. Like, if you're on YouTube, you can have a little bit of a look. But like the actual inside material is like so warm and velvety. It's perfect for like the training in the cold and like winter and stuff. Right now, it's like you got sent it on Saturday that it came through the post and. Saturday that it came through the post and I haven't taken it off yet. I could love it.
Getting really smelly now, isn't it?
I slapped it.
Yeah, it's sick. I don't think I've ever seen the material. I don't think I've ever seen the material.
It's the first hoodie that auto cleans itself. I'm
well happy with it.
No,
yeah, it's
very,
like
very good.
you'll never see a material like it, like any product like that. I'd say I've never seen it anyway.
Yeah, well, when is it going out? You say it's next weekend?
Yep, Saturday. So it'll be Wednesday when this is coming out. So yeah, three more days till launch. But
10% off with NL10 for Normalising Life 10.
Yep, get on it. And then everything else, there's still got all the other stuff still in stock. A lot of things still in stock. So get involved. High quality performance attire.
Yeah, no, it's good, mate. It's good. Right then, I've had a good week. How's your week been? Have you had a good week?
Mine's
You're
been
on lockdown now, aren't you?
Chill, to be fair. Nothing really happening in the world of Italy, but how about you?
Yeah, it was snowing again outside now as I'm looking out, but apart from that, not really much, but I just kind of had like a good moving the needle business week. It's been good. Spending a hell of a lot of time on that Clubhouse app. It's good, like, but it's very time consuming.
I jumped on to one of your calls last week. I just got overwhelmed. I wasn't really in a great mood, but I thought, right, I can't jump on because I kept on promising I'll jump on, and I jumped on, and it was one about mental health, and I always love talking about mental health and stuff, but this guy was talking, and I was just like, I had
to move him. Like, when you moderate rooms, like, you invite people to speak on the app, and I was moderating and like hosting the room, and they invited this guy up to speak, and he just wouldn't shut up, and like, it was just the way that he was talking just was really patronising, and it was annoying people, and they were trying to create this like open dialogue for people to talk about mental health and stuff, and we were like telling and explaining our stories and struggles that we've gone through with it, and this guy would just like, it just wasn't helping anyone at all, and it was just like very much, it was like coming from a good place, but it was just not helping anyone, so I had to basically move him to the audience, because I got messages, because it's so easy to go onto people's Instagram. People who were on the moderating on the stage, kind of talking, actually messaged me and been like, "Will you get rid of this guy?"
Yeah, it just seemed like an 11. You've been to Tenerife, he's been to 11 like just one of those sort of guys that you're depressed, but I'm fucking super depressed. It was just one of those guys, and it was just a bit overwhelming. I came on for 5 minutes, listened to him, and I was like, right, gotta go, bye.
But there were so many people that kind of came into the room and like liked the vibe of the room, but they were leaving so quickly, and it would killing it. But yeah, put him in the bin this week.
Fuck off onto the bin.
Story toppers. Just because you've done something, it doesn't mean it's better than my story.
Yeah,
kind of idea.
What's been in the news then? You were saying a lot of people's been getting scammed, haven't they?
Yeah. So I've heard about a few things that a lot of people, COVID vaccines, calling up, texting people about you had your COVID vaccine, which turned out to be a scam, and then mobile phone contracts. My girlfriend Alice had just had a phone call about mobile phone contract, which hers, I don't know how they got the information, but hers is due. Like, she just had a phone call from O2, and this was Cars Phone Warehouse, so not Car Phone Warehouse, Cars with an S, Cars Phone Warehouse. They were trying to contact her, and then there's one about banks as well, like a big one about banks, and like asking you security question, and literally just £200, £200 coming out of your account. I think it's like it's either 250 or 300 is like the limit of where the banks don't check. If it's anything over 300, they'll check if it's authorised, or they'll check like your account history. But if it's under that, then they don't check, so they just kind of keep taking £250, £250 out. And I know someone that's that's had to be dealing with that recently and got scammed by that, and it's so shit. But have you ever been scammed?
It actually happened to me. It just came to my mind there. It happened to me in March, where my account got hacked, my business account actually it was, and someone paid for their gym membership in Netherlands for like 340 quid. Came out of my account, and I was like, what the fuck? And it was because of when it was COVID was happening, like first lockdown, so no one was working at call centers. So I was on hold for like an hour and a half, and I couldn't spend that much time on hold. So I had to try for like 3 weeks until I was like, right, this is enough. And I had to send like 4 emails to the correct people to be able to get them to phone me ASAP, because they would keep on taking 10p's. That's how they do it. So they take 10p, and then if they realise that you're not noticing it coming out, then they hit the big whack, big 340 quid. Yeah. But that came out, and then anything under £10,000 you can claim back without investigation. So if anyone else has been scammed or is getting scammed in the future, always keep in mind that if you phone up and you appeal the fraud, it gets back into your account within a day. You get, I think, up to 10 grand, doesn't get investigated. So and another tip is, if you get an email from like Apple or something that seems really suspicious, click the drop down menu where it says Apple, and then usually it says fucking Mohammed Al Sheikh blah 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 at gmail.com. So that's the hacker busy, but he's just covering it up with the subject name. So that's another tip. But then I got another one. I got hacked again. I don't know if you've heard about the EasyJet. EasyJet had the biggest hack in history in the UK. I think it was something like over 1 million accounts got leaked, and mine was one of them. So they got, I don't know what they got. They didn't get any bank details, I don't think, but they got a lot of other stuff, like my number, and I got a lot of cold calls, like over and over again, like just.
That's what I think. I was thinking that's happened to me recently. Like in the last few weeks, I've had like literally about 6 a day of just unknown numbers, and it's just it's so frustrating and annoying. Obviously, like you just X them off, and then but it's always like something about a survey. Will you fill out this survey? You got 2 minutes of your time? Oh, who's your gas and electricity with? It's like, I'm not a fucking homeowner. I don't deal with that shit.
My mum, okay. But it does get frustrating, and as well, like I know, like my friend, it happened to him, and he's a contractor as well. He relies on like unknown numbers, and he ended up blocking unknown numbers, which could end up in jobs being lost because it's unknown caller phone for a job. So like it can affect your business. And then I got contacted by a lawyer after that to ask if I wanted to jump on the claim against an EasyJet. So now I'm hopefully getting a claim to EasyJet for getting my information hacked, and maybe get someone out of it. Fingers crossed.
I might sell my stocks in EasyJet. But no, yeah, it's just one of them things. It's like, I had an old story actually of where I was buying a Leeds Festival ticket, and I buying one for me and my friend, and I mean, I was naive and like 17-year-old naive guy on Gumtree selling two Leeds Fest tickets, and I was like, oh, I've got the money. I'll come and pick them up and come and pay now. And you were like, oh, can you send me a deposit just so I can secure them and not sell them to anybody else? So I sent him like 150 quid, I think it was, for the 2 tickets, and as a deposit, and he scammed me, gave me a fake address, and I sent that bank transfer, so I don't know at the time. Well, I didn't get it back anyway. That 150 quid was gone. But as a 17-year-old, 150 quid is a lot more money than what it is at the minute. But anyway, I was so gutted about that.
Yeah, that would just send you with the edge. Like, that'd be awful. There's nothing you can do about it. That's the worst thing about it. Like, you can't even appeal it or chase them down or anything.
Oh, and another thing that kind of come to my mind, I think we talked about it before when it were like the Instagram gurus, the Forex gurus or whatever, that sell you like shitty signals and like then get a commission off the money that you deposit into the accounts. Yeah. I got done by one of them, and I lost 400 quid trading, and then he must have, like, it were about 20 quid a month to actually get the signals, so about 4 months I'd really fucked that up.
You're not the I bet you've learnt your lesson a few times, like.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I've learned that, like, the thing is, it's like when it comes to things like the Forex and the day trading stuff, it were like, I was really interested in it. I really wanted to learn, and I knew this guy, like, I'd met him in person, so I was like, okay, I actually trust him because I'd met him. I didn't know him well, but I met him at one of the gyms that I worked at, and I was like, oh, this guy seems sound. But obviously not. And then now his account's been taken down, and there's a big thing about James Trades, he's called actually, James Trades Forex or something. His account's it's blocked now, but he basically he fucked me over, and there were about 3,000 people in the Signals group as well, so he
must be minted.
Yeah, well, he was driving around in a fucking R8, sending pictures on his story every day of filling my car up again, £100 in tank. Every day.
Cheers, Adam. You pay for this? Yeah. I've been stroked a few times that in person as well. Down in Dublin, I used to be a wee dick. Like back in whenever I was younger, I did take some drugs every so often. I wasn't like as bad as most people, like, but sometimes I just dipped and dabbled in it. But I was down in Dublin. Me and my friends usually go down to Dublin on Boxing Day for just a big, everyone get together because everyone's home at Christmas from working away or wherever, uni, blah, blah, blah. So everyone came to Dublin. We were all dressed to the hilts, I had a trench coat on, lovely little shirt, got my pointy loafers on, like, just looking dapper if I do say so myself. And we had a few drinks. We were getting to that stage of drunkenness. We're like, whew, go to a club soon, like, because I'm getting pretty steaming. So I was walking down the road. Some Irish guy came over. He looked a bit homeless, like, not the worst. He came over and he was like, "How you doing, lads? How you doing? I've got a proposal for you. Just hear me out. And I was like, right, okay, we'll just hear him out. We're drunk. We'll just listen to him, see what he says. He says, I've got an idea for a business, shoe shining. And I was like, yeah, that's already a thing. It's been a thing for like hundreds and hundreds of years. People been shoe shining. And he was like, yeah, but I'm going to do it outside shops. I'm going to do it outside a shop, a shoe shop, where people need a shoe shining. And I'm like, I don't know if you're going to be so successful. I was crushing his dreams. He looked so excited. He was crushing his wee dreams. And he was just like, oh, right. Well, do you want to buy some Coke? And I was like, do you know what? It's some sales pitch. Like, he wrote me in, and I was like, do you know what? I'll go for it. I'll bite. And then I was haggling with him, and I got him down to like a ridiculous price you'd never get. Like, I was just stupid young. Got down to a low price that you wouldn't pay any sort of money for. And then I gave him the money, and I was like, right, I want to try it before I take it because I don't actually trust you that much. And he was like, oh, you can't do it here. There's Garda everywhere. There's police everywhere. And I fuck's sake. Right, okay, take it. And then I went around the corner. I was with mates, and I was like, all right, I'm going to taste it here just in case it's not what I think it is. So I took a wee taste, and it was sugar, pure sugar. I was like, fuck me. And then one of my mates looked at me like, what are you going to do? And I was like, yeah, I have to do something. I have to do something. So I went around the corner again, and I seen him doing the same thing to two other wee blokes. And I was like, fucking seen him. And he seen me looking at him. And then as soon as he clocked eyes at me, he started bombing it. And as soon as he started bombing it, I was like, fuck. And I just started sprinting. I was like Robocop bombing down this road in my trench coat, flailing behind me, and my fucking winkle pickers just clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop, sprinting down this like cobbled road. And then I zoomed past these two kids, and they were like, like, holy fuck, look at the speed of him. And I kept on running, and then he went around a corner, and I went around a corner, but I was wearing slippy shoes, and I drifted. I was like Tokyo Drift around this fucking corner. I don't know what came into me, and I grabbed them, pinned them to the ground. I was like, give me my fucking money. And then I got my money off them and told them to fuck off, and then the two guys came over to me and goes, holy fuck, look at this, are you Robocop? And I was like, I was adrenaline pumping, and he's like, what the fuck did he do? And I was like, he sold me fucking sugar instead of Coke. I was like, well, what are you buying Coke in the middle of the street for? And I was like, and in hindsight, I don't know why I was doing this. And then he was like, do you want some Coke? I was like, yeah, and he ended up giving me a cake Coke right then. Oh fuck, it was mad.
You just bought off that guy that was sugar.
Yeah.
You should have been glad that it was sugar. You got the sugar rush, and then that's why you could catch him.
It was mad. I don't know what came into me, but it was fucking hilarious. Like, it was such a good day.
That's a brilliant story, that mate. I love that.
But yeah, that's the scam. That's a scam talk anyway. We got some questions here from my Instagram post the other day, so we'll go through some of these. Claire Bernison, hello Claire. Before I'll give you a shout out. Podcast and book recommendations. You can go first, Adam. We both are pretty fond of our books and our podcasts, so.
Yeah. I mean, recently, because of the whole Clubhouse, whenever I'd normally listen to my morning walk when I go around, I'd normally listen to a book. I've been listening to Clubhouse and getting involved with that. So that is kind of my new audiobook in a sense. But we've talked about a few before. My absolute favourite, which has been a game change to me, which you've read as well, is the Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. That's class for like managing money and like just being able to reset your financial blueprint. That one, fucking love. Read it 3 times. Then another big one which helped me massively is Atomic Habit, James Clear. That one's created about kind of implementing morning routines and how to like pin habits on each other and like cue habits and stuff.
I've
That's
read
really
that
good.
recently as well. I fucking love Atomic Habits.
I read that one
It's
twice.
It's a very, very smart man, like.
And then businessy wise, I love the Straight Line Selling by Wolf of Wall Street. I can't remember his name, Jordan something, is it?
Bedford.
But yeah. That's absolutely class. I love that.
I've never actually read that one. I might have to give that one a go as well.
I mean, it helped. It's a lot about kind of influencing people and like.
Is this the podcast? He has a podcast as well. You know, is this the podcast or is this the book?
This is the book. This is the book itself. This. I watched a video on YouTube actually of him actually going through a sale recently, and you can see if you think about the structure, because it's all about straight line selling. So you go from 0 to 10, and when they're at the 10, they buy. So you normally get people up, if you might get someone initially, and there might be a 6. So you need to loop back round again and come back and get them going along the line, so you get them a little bit further, and you just keep looping back round and keep looping. And it talks about all the different kind of issues that people might be having and like hesitations about the sale and like how to counteract them and stuff. And it's very, very good. Obviously not just for salespeople, but it's like if you get people on a coaching, like for myself, say if I talking to someone about doing online physio or something and they're a bit hesitant about the price or whatever, then I'll use some of the tactics to kind of bring them back around. Giving it all away on a podcast now.
These are all pretty business and like around business, these podcasts and books. Do you have anything you listen to like a bit of fun or a bit more relaxed?
I love Joe Rogan. I listen to Impulsive a lot, Logan Paul's podcast. I kind of tend to watch that if I listen to any, because I like a lot of the guests that he's got on. That one's quite fun and entertaining. Say Joe Rogan's is fun and entertaining, but realistically, and Gary Vee. I love Gary. I mean, I don't think you like Gary Vee too much, do you?
Nah, too much. He's a bit too in your face.
I like him. I like him a lot. I like a lot of the things that he talks about and how he multi-uses content and stuff. I think it's really, really powerful and good.
Like that other guy. What you call that other guy? He was a Buddhist, or no, he was a monk. And he Jay Shetty. What a prick! I don't like him.
I don't really know too much of his stuff, but no, they're the kind of main ones that
he was a monk. He was a monk, and then he stopped being a monk just to become like a social or a guru, like a self-help sort of guy, but he uses everyone else's fucking content or as his own, like quotes and all. He says quotes all the time. He's most famous for his quotes, but they're all like stolen from other people. I hate that. Like,
yeah. No, I think there is a lot of like regurgitating information. Like there is a lot of that out there at the minute, but I think at the same time, it's like you have mentors, you have people that you go to, and then you reword it in the sense of what you're thinking and the way that you're doing it. You don't exactly go like, this is exactly what he said, like, and then blah 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 from there. It's like, but a lot of the stuff that I get is like, someone told me recently about, I think I talked about it last week actually, about the stages of change and like where you need to be in elements of change, and like there've been 3 pillars, and he told me about the 3 pillars, and now I've made it, and like my business has made it like a 5 pillars of change. So it's like being aware that you need to change, making the decision to change, getting the right strategy in place, getting the accountability, and then actually taking the action to change. Because people will decide to change. We all done that diet starts on Monday kind of thing, and then it actually doesn't. And it's like you've made a decision to change, but you haven't actually taken the action to change. And a lot of the time it's because you haven't got the right structure and plan in place. And that's kind of how I've taken someone's information and shifted it to like my own thing of like, say, not just copying but regurgitating in a sense. What about yourself? Your book, podcast recommendations?
Books. So the one book, the audio book actually I got into first, is the one that got me into Audible, was The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I think that's a really cliche one. Like everyone sort of read it and it was cliche, but it did help me a lot. It was whenever I was in Saudi, and it sort of changed my outlook of how to deal with stuff. Onto that, I really like the Outliers. that was a really good book. Love that. All about how a lot of successful people just comes down to chance rather than talent, or just hard work and chance. But that's good. What else? I really love The Tribe of Mentors. Just finished that recently.
That one's on my list. That's
savage.
next to that.
You'll love that. Like, again, The Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. What was it called? Harv
T. Harv Eker.
I went pure fucking dyslexic there. Podcasts. What podcast do I listen to? I like Chris Williamson. He's very informative, but he does use a lot of big words that I don't understand, and it throws me off a wee bit. What other podcasts? Actually, I don't know. The humour's a bit different. Like, Northern Irish humour is a bit different than English humour. Anyone I've recommended this to in England didn't really like it. But Dirt Civil, it's like two comedians in Northern Ireland made a podcast, and I love it. Like, it's just right up my street in terms of humour and stuff. The same guy, the same sort of friend circle as Colin Geddes. His podcast is very funny. I listened to a book. It's completely different to what we usually listen to, called Shantaram. It's a true story, autobiography sort of thing about a guy in Australia back in, it was early 1900s or early 2000. Early 20th century it was, sorry, and he was Australian. He was in prison, and he escaped from prison and fled to India, and it's just a story of his life and how he became like all different jobs. He went from being a doctor into a drug smuggler into a passport maker, like loads of different jobs, into the mafia, shit like that there. But it's his life story. It is massively long. I think it was 67 hours long in the audiobook. Okay, no. So it is a long book, but luckily I had a lot of time back then and I finished it, and it was definitely a very good book. If you just want a long, and instead of watching TV or a movie, listen to that instead. Really good book.
I think just on that, like you're saying there, one that's not directly business, but it is kind of a bit personal development, but it's an autobiography. David Goggins' That Can't Hurt Me. That were really motivating, but I really like that.
It is motivating, but I read something the other day about David Goggins. He's like, is he really motivational, or is he just an absolute retard that just likes to fucking run and likes to hurt? His logic is, I don't think he has much logic at all. He just likes to hurt loads and get the job done. Whereas I think I compare him to Ross Edgley. Ross Edgley is like a smart David Goggins. Yeah. Like, Ross Edgley, he calculates everything he does, so he knows he's going to succeed. But David Goggins, the amount of time he's fucked up, like he didn't even pass his what's it called, Marine. What's the highest Marine commando or something?
Navy SEAL. The SEAL.
Navy SEAL. Yeah, he didn't pass that so many times, and all because he just goes fucking head first at it and doesn't do it logically, which I don't really believe. But I don't know. It is a motivational book though. Like, he is a motivational guy, but he just is.
I think it's more his message of like. I think there's a lot to be said about being imperfect action. Like taking imperfect action and stuff, and like maybe not waiting until you're 1,000% ready to do something, and actually just doing it and learning a little bit on the way, which is the kind of message I took from it. But you're right, as like, especially looking at it from like a health and as a physio point of view, he's a fucking idiot in some of the things that he
like doing like 3,000 pull-ups. His hands were like red raw. He just got cortisone injections into his hands to stop the pain, so he just keep doing pull-ups. Like, that is just stupid.
You say that about Ross Edgley though, when he climbed the rope, the height of Everest, and he couldn't wipe his ass because his hands were so fucked up. But I love Ross Edgley's books as well. The Art of Resilience and the World's Fittest Book. They're both class as well.
I've read them both. They're savage books.
I've implemented a lot of the strategies that he talks about in my training and stuff there as well, because I think it's very, very, very good. And I love the fact how he takes it. I always talk about, like, say, entertainment is here and informative is here, and you need to have a hybrid of both and get it to the middle. And I think he does it absolutely perfectly. Like, he's bang on of, like, he's such a nice, entertaining guy, and he's easy to watch, but at the same time, or easy to listen to in the book format. But at the same time, the information he's getting across is so good. And it's so
I love how he talks. I love how he talks about the intrinsically and extrinsically motivated and motivation, and how a lot of people, like, I changed a lot without reading that book, because I was very extrinsically motivated, and I relied on a lot of other people, like, giving me like thumbs up and doing well and like posting things on Instagram. But now I've sort of a little more completely intrinsically, where I'm just doing things for myself and I don't really care what anyone else thinks. And that's the book that really pointed me in the direction of that. So definitely, it's a really good book as well.
No, definitely would 100% recommend Ross Edgley's books there. But I think I could go on this. Like, I've got loads of books.
Oh, there's so many, but
I've
we've only
read,
got
but-
another 10, 15 minutes. So
Yeah,
we'll move
yeah.
on to the
We'll
next
move
question,
on.
which is Harry Barber, a good friend of mine. He asks, over 40 starting CrossFit, what is your opinion? You can take a lead on this because you're a physio and you're
Yeah. So my opinion on this is go for it. I always like go for it, but it's like in itself, like CrossFit is a great sport for developing a lot of other areas, but you need to build. You can't build a house on bad foundations, so don't try and build a body on bad foundations either. So it's a lot of people go into it like expecting to be lifting the weights, doing the snatches and the complex movements like straight away. If you don't have any lifting experience, just really stick to the basics. Make sure your mobility is right. Make sure that you've got strength in like kind of your rotator cuff, muscles supporting your hips, and just making sure you're strong and stable in these movements. And before you even start, like really trying to attack them, because this is where I see a lot of issues in CrossFit is that people don't take the time to build these fundamentals and build these basics before moving forward. And like my ideal client for like my physio coaching business is a CrossFitter that is kind of almost reaching the potential, but needs a bit of guidance on making sure they're moving in the correct way. Because it's like movement, posture, movements, and biomechanics is my wheelhouse. That's what I specialize in. So like making sure that you're getting these foundations down and you're moving right before you even start is such a powerful tool, because you will get to a point of where like you plateau, because at the end of the day, a shit movement pattern, if you're lifting heavy, is still a shit movement pattern. You need, like, there's some of the best guys, I think, Chandler Smith, yeah, like, he's fucking so strong, and all I think is, like, let me at you for, like, 6 weeks, and actually sort out some of your mobility and your movement patterns, and then you'd be a fucking way with the fairies, because you're so strong in these shit movement patterns. If you had good movement patterns, you'd be absolutely insane. And
in terms of age, like I don't think like there is literally a category of over 36 called Masters that is based for CrossFitters over the age of 36. So I don't think age really matters too much. Like I've seen videos of 80-year-olds doing CrossFit. Fair enough, it's not that nice. Like it's not that aesthetic, but they're still doing something rather than sitting in their fucking hole doing nothing. Like
your body adapts to the stimulus as you give it, or the stimulus as you don't give it. So a lot of the time, when people retire, you don't get old and then retire. You retire and then you get old. Because you're not, say like you're a builder and you're doing all this manual labour stuff, moving all this stuff around all the time, and then you retire and you just sit at home on your sofa and you're like, oh, I feel so shit and so old since I retired. It's like, yeah, because your body adapts to what you give it, your stimulus as you give it. Yes, it needs time to adapt, so you can't go in and go like, I'm going to be fucking hitting this CrossFit workout 100% every single day and expect your body not to break down about it, but it adapts to the stimulus as you give it. So if you progressively overload and you implement strategies into it nice and steady, your body will be able to do it. And it's the same thing as like, if someone started doing CrossFit at 20 and they continued through and they're over 40, yes, they're going to be able to do more because the body's adapted over time. It does get to a point of where your body takes a little bit longer to recover. You need to maybe warm up and do more mobility work beforehand or afterwards as well, and you need to listen to your body in that sense. But there's no reason why people can't do it. But there's always the kind of thing of like, oh, I've always had weak ankles. I injured it when I was 18 playing football, and then since then it's been shit. It's like, no, it's just taking the time to break this down. It might take a month or so to be like, I really need to rehab and focus purely on this injury. But if you are serious about taking up certain things, then you can do that and you can move forward. It's about giving your body the stimulus it needs to adapt to the situation.
Consistency as well, yeah.
And if, just a little bit of a plug here, if anyone wants a free mobility screening or been able to test where they're tight and stuff, just message me on Instagram, because it can let you know where you're tight, where your issues are, and then we can try and maybe sort out a plan and get something in place for you afterwards to progress and move forward with it. But yeah, it's one of my biggest things is that people just expect to go in and do it. And I'm sorry, if you're working 9 to 5 in an office and you sat on your ass all day, the chances are you're going to need a lot of priming before you can get into the right state to actually start doing CrossFit, because it's not an easy sport to do. It's a class sport to do. The community is ace. I love it, but it's the fact your body needs priming before you do it.
Biggest recommendation I have doing CrossFit is don't be taking a pride attack or an ego attack just because you're having to scale exercises. Scaling exercises, there's professional athletes to scale exercises for 2 or 3 years, like before they mastered it. Like, don't be scared to scale weight, scale movements to your own body type or your own abilities, because it will work out better in the future. I wish I did it. I didn't really. I thought because all my friends were a lot fitter than me and a lot stronger than me, I went too fast and jeopardized form and a bit like that sort of stuff for getting the heavier weights up. And I'm looking back, I'm thinking, oh fuck, that's shocking to watch. But then now that I've had to take my ego aside, go back and recalibrate all my mobility, my form, it's working out better for me. But I could have just cancelled that out and be so much further ahead if I just scaled it and took my ego aside at the start.
Yeah. And I think that especially obviously in the UK, we're still in a lockdown. I mean, for you guys, gyms are still shut, aren't they? So it's like, it's the perfect opportunity now to do that. Like, if you're going to take the time to take a moment, reassess and then move forward, like now is the time to do it, because you can be working on this at home, still have the goal in mind of I'm going to progress my CrossFit, but it's going to be done in a slightly different way. And I think like right now it's like I have the Unlocking Lockdown program, and it's perfect for this kind of thing. It's unlocking your body, unlocking the movement patterns in lockdown. So
absolutely. Get involved.
So yeah, definitely. What my advice for that? Definitely can do CrossFit when you're over 40, but just make sure that you might need to take that little bit longer to prime your body before you get into the full movements of everything.
Yep. Good question, Harry. Appreciate it. Right, so we've got about 5 to 10 minutes left of the podcast, so we'll go on to a better pill to swallow, I believe. I've got one here that's actually pretty decent. Strangers are your biggest fans, while friends can be your least supportive. Yeah, it's a big bitter. It's a big bitter pill to swallow, I think, because it's so true. And see, like now for me, looking at my most talked to friends on my DMs and stuff, I'd say 4 to 5 I've maybe only met once or twice. Like yourself and other ones that I've met once that live back home as well. Like, and they are literally the most supportive. Any story I put up, they're like, "Fucking go ahead, son. Well done. Keep it up. Blah blah." And you do that as well. But like some of my closest friends would never even give me a message to say well done. I don't know. I'm not really fussed at all. Like, I'm not getting at them or anything. Everyone's got their own shit to deal with. But like, I think it's just a thing of this generation where like strangers are the most supportive, and it happens a lot to girls as well. I know my girlfriend, like a lot of people like support her posts and stuff. There's a lot of strangers who just are nicer people. Like,
yeah, no, I get it. It's like, it's a lot with businesses. It's like you expect, like, I mean, I have some, like you say, you have your select group of friends, like some that are like, that support you all the time, they're messaging you about stuff, oh, that looks sick, that's really good, that's that, and like that kind of thing. But there's like you kind of your core group of friends that are just, I think, is there maybe a little bit of like jealousy there that you're stepping out of the comfort zone?
I think there's a little bit of jealousy there for sure, like, and a little bit of envy.
Yeah. And I mean, I make a point to always do it. If one of my friends are starting something new, I will always support them and do it, because I've been through it and I know how shit it is when people that you kind of could do with a little bit of support with, when they don't give you the time of the day. It's like they don't comment, they don't like your posts or whatever in that kind of sense. Or you put on an event and you say it'd just be good if you could just show your face. And then, like I say, like we in the A game stuff, we've been doing like some masterminds, some free masterminds, and there's been so many people have just been like, oh, you just show up and show your face, kind of thing. And like closer friends around here, and they've just not really been bothered or showing up. And it's like, it's just more of a numbers game and showing your support for people to help grow the business. But it's like, I say, like you showed up to my room the other day. Yes, it might not have been the thing, but you did. And like, I'm obviously like, I love all the hybrid stuff, and I'm more than happy to kind of promote it all, but not just because it's absolutely really sick, but because I appreciate the effort that goes into setting up a business and what you've done to build it. So I'm going to support you as well. But
that's what I mean. Like, me and you have only met like in person once, and there's people that have known my whole life that maybe haven't even bought a t-shirt or haven't even bought a pair of socks, for fuck's sake. But don't get me wrong, like, I'm acting like it bothers me, but it doesn't bother me at all. But it's just something I've noticed. Like, I'm more than happy to talk with people I've only met once that actually make me want to grow than take a step back to people in the past that I've been friends with, or I'm trying to say this where I'm not going to offend anyone, but they're still going to be my best friends, or friends in the past, but they're like, if I need to move on from that, then I have to, like.
It's that the whole saying, if your circle doesn't inspire you, you don't have a circle, you have a cage. And it's like, I really like the analogy. I'm going to make a TikTok about this actually. That it's like blowing up a balloon with an elastic band around it. So it's like, this is what your circle can do to you if you don't like step out of your circle or expand your circle to like people that are going to help you grow as well. It's like you're going to just be compressed and crushed around this thing that's going to hold you back. And sometimes, like I say, it might be. I mean, it's shit in it. Sometimes we talked about it before, but it's like sometimes you might be family members that you cut less time with, you have less time with. It might be, it might be your previous best friends or your close friends that you cut ties with. But if the people don't help you grow, then it's that whole crabs in the bucket.
It's a selfish move, but you have to make a selfish move sometimes. Yeah, crabs in the bucket. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong. Like, it sounds like I'm dissing my friends, but like they're my best friends for life, and they'll never not be my best friends. And I would do anything for them, and they would do anything for me. But in terms of whenever I'm doing things that are different, that's maybe not their expertise or anything like that, they wouldn't really be as supportive. But I'm not getting downhearted about it at all. Like, because I know they're my best friends. And again, I've made this analogy before, and how I judge my friends. If I was stuck in Dublin, pouring down rain at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I needed to phone people to come get me or help me, I know every single one of my friends would do it, and that's how I judge my best friends, and every single one of them would do it. So I have no qualms at all.
Yeah. No, mate, I think that's it, and it's awesome to kind of making sure that you have that. You say that community, you have that community of your best friends and stuff, but then you also have the community of just creating the average in it, like the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So becomes your average. So I think you've got to spend time with people that are like just fun, light up your day, like your best mates and that kind of thing. And then you've got to spend time with people that light a fire up your ass and they would be like motivating and be like, just get you pumped and ready to go for like.
I do respect whenever if someone would say, for example, if the shoe was in the other foot and my friends are starting something, like say it was something to do with, I don't know, something I'm not interested in, like cricket. They're starting a cricket fucking podcast. Like, I would just say to them that, mate, fair play, you're doing something well, but I have no interest in cricket and I'm probably not going to listen to it. But I respect honesty that way for sure. Like, that's different, I think.
No, definitely. I think that's bob on.
But we'll
about
wrap this up,
then,
I think.
We'll wrap
it up. I have to go to work. Yeah. So everyone, the hybrid hoodies are out this weekend and they're going to go fast, so get involved if you want to. NL10 for discount on the website. You want to plug anything?
Well, I'm gonna next Tuesday evening, UK time at 8 o'clock. We're gonna be doing my A Game consultancy business are going to be doing a free mastermind on all things mental, internal, and physical health. So, kind of especially with lockdown and everything, just kind of our way of giving back a little bit and giving some free tips and advice on how to manage everything. So, drop me a message on Instagram if you wanna get involved with that. But yeah, on Rob's side, these hoodies are absolutely sick. So, if you're in the market for a new hoodie or you want to just show some support, then there you go. That's the best way of doing it. But yeah, we'll wrap everything up there, guys. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. Drop us a comment. You can either drop your questions in the comments there, messages on Instagram, or if you are listening on audio, there will be a link in the description to send us a little voice note as well, which would be cool because we love to kind of get your questions in the podcast of you guys actually asking them, and then we can answer them from there. So it's cool. We have got a guest next week as well, so make sure you subscribe, notifications on, all that kind of stuff for the guest next week. Do you want to give a little bit of a lowdown about that, or should we leave it as a surprise?
We'll leave it as a surprise, but it's a top level athlete. Like, it'll be very insightful, I'd say.
Yeah, it should be very good. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for listening and tuning in, and we will see you guys next week.
See you later, guys.